When people talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, one name always rises above the rest: Michael Jordan. But what made him so special? Was it just his scoring, his championships, or something deeper? Something that stats can't explain? In this video, we'll dive into the full story of Michael Jordan. This is not just a highlight reel, it's the full journey. Let's find out how good Michael Jordan actually was. Humble beginnings. A short kid with big dreams. When you hear the name Michael Jordan, greatness comes to mind. But early in his life, not many believed he would even make it to the NBA, let alone become the greatest of all time. As a teenager, Jordan faced rejection. During his sophomore year in high school, he didn't make the varsity basketball team. The reason? He was considered too short, standing at only 5 feet 10 inches. This wasn't surprising. His family wasn't tall. Nobody in the Jordan family was over 6 feet. His older brother Larry was just 5 feet 8 inches. So people assumed Michael would end up the same. But what they didn't see was the fire inside him, the hunger to prove everyone wrong. Jordan used that rejection as motivation. He trained harder, pushed himself, and kept improving. What happened next would change his life forever. The growth spurt that changed everything. Michael experienced a dramatic growth spurt. Over the next year or so, he grew several inches, eventually reaching 6 feet 6 inches. Suddenly, he had the height to go with his athleticism. That combination made him nearly impossible to guard. By the time he graduated, Jordan was averaging 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. He was beginning to turn heads. Even though he was clearly talented, he wasn't fully developed. He hadn't played as much competitive basketball as other top prospects. He was still raw, but college coaches saw the potential. College years, the shot that started it all. Jordan went on to play for the University of North Carolina under legendary coach Dean Smith. As a freshman, he didn't dominate. He averaged just 13 points per game and played behind future NBA stars like James Worthy and Sam Perkins. But that would all change in 1982 during the NCAA championship game. With the game on the line, the ball ended up in Jordan's hands. He calmly nailed a jumper from the wing to give UNC the win. That one shot changed everything. Jordan later said it was the moment that gave him the confidence to believe he could do something great with basketball. From that point on, he began to grow. Not just physically, but mentally. His game improved across the board. He became a smarter, more well-rounded player, becoming a complete player. Over his next 2 college seasons, Jordan took big steps forward. He improved his jump shot, worked on his defense, and became more of a team leader. By 1984, he was named the College Player of the Year. But despite his success in college, many experts still didn't think he'd be the best pro. The NBA in the 1980s was all about big men. Centers like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Hakeem Olajuwon dominated the league. Jordan was seen as just a 6'6" shooting guard. So when the 1984 NBA draft came, he wasn't picked first or second. He was taken third by the Chicago Bulls, after Hakeem and Sam Bowie. Many teams would regret passing on him. Rookie shockwave in the NBA. From the moment Jordan stepped onto an NBA court, it was clear. The league had never seen anything like him. In his 3rd NBA game, he scored over 30 points. In his 9th game, he dropped 40. He was quick, explosive, and fearless. Even at practice, Bulls coaches and teammates were stunned. Jordan didn't talk trash. He simply outworked and outplayed everyone. The Bulls coach reportedly told the general manager, "We got it right this time." A human highlight reel. Jordan quickly became a walking highlight reel. His dunks were electric. His speed and leaping ability seemed unreal. When he jumped, it looked like he stayed in the air longer than anyone else. It was like gravity didn't affect him the same way. Fans packed arenas just to watch him fly. His plays weren't just effective, they were beautiful. People weren't just watching a basketball player, they were witnessing something special. Record-breaking early playoff moments. In his 2nd season, Jordan suffered a foot injury that kept him out for most of the year. But in the playoffs, he returned and delivered one of the greatest performances in NBA history, scoring 63 points in a single game against the Boston Celtics. Even Celtics legend Larry Bird was amazed. He said, That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. It was clear, Jordan wasn't just a good player. He was something else entirely. Individual success, team struggles. Despite Jordan's talent, the Bulls weren't winning much as a team. He was often the league's top scorer, but they kept losing in the playoffs. It was frustrating. Jordan was giving everything he had, but he didn't have the right pieces around him. That started to change when the Bulls added forward Scottie Pippen and big man Horace Grant. Slowly, the team began to grow into a serious contender. MVP and defense. Jordan becomes a two-way force. In 1988, Jordan had his best season yet. He averaged 35 points per game and led the league in steals. He won the league MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year award, something only a few players in history have done. He wasn't just scoring anymore. He was dominating both ends of the floor. He was becoming the most complete player in the game, facing the Detroit Wall. But there was still one team standing in his way, the Detroit Pistons. They were physical, brutal, and had a game plan just for Jordan. They called it the Jordan Rules. Whenever he got the ball, they'd double-team him, hit him, and try to wear him down. Jordan realized he had to adapt. He added muscle, became stronger, and worked harder on playing within a team. He started trusting his teammates more. The triangle offense changes everything. When Phil Jackson became the Bulls head coach and introduced the triangle offense, everything changed. This system created better spacing and ball movement. Jordan no longer had to do it all. He could pick his spots and play smarter. And it worked. First championship. Beating the Lakers and the past. In 1991, the Bulls finally broke through. They swept the Pistons in the playoffs, ending years of frustration. Then in the finals, they faced Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Jordan rose to the challenge, averaging over 30 points and leading the Bulls to their first ever championship. He wasn't just a highlight machine anymore. He was a champion. 1992. Shrugging off the doubters. In 1992, the Bulls were even better. They won 67 games. Jordan won another MVP. In the finals, they faced the Portland Trail Blazers and Clyde Drexler. Some said Drexler was just as good as Jordan. So in Game 1, Jordan made a statement, hitting 6 three-pointers in the first half and giving the famous shrug to the announcers. The Bulls went on to win the series and their second straight title. 1993, battling Barkley and emotional victory. In 1993, the Bulls were tired, but Jordan still led the league in scoring. In the finals, they faced Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns. It was a tough battle, but Jordan was unstoppable. He averaged over 40 points per game and won his third straight title. It was an emotional victory, but it would also be his last, at least for a while. Tragedy and retirement. Shortly after that season, Jordan's father was tragically murdered. The loss was devastating. Emotionally drained, Jordan announced his retirement and stepped away from basketball. He pursued baseball, something his father always wanted for him. It was a bold move, but it didn't last. I'm back. The return of a legend. In 1995, after 18 months away from basketball, Jordan returned with a simple message. I'm back. He wasn't quite himself at first. The Bulls lost in the playoffs to the Orlando Magic, but Jordan wasn't finished. That summer, he trained like never before, building the greatest team ever. The Bulls made major changes. They added Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr, and other key players. The result? A 72-10 record in 1996, the best ever at the time. Jordan won another MVP and another title, this time beating the Seattle Supersonics. 1997. The famous flu game. In 1997, the Bulls returned to the finals to face the Utah Jazz. In Game 5, Jordan played through what many believe was food poisoning. Despite barely being able to stand, he scored 38 points and led the Bulls to a win. They won the series in 6. 1998, one last dance. In 1998, the Bulls were aging and injuries were a problem. But Jordan wasn't done. In Game 6 of the finals, with the title on the line, he hit a legendary game winner over Brian Russell. It was his 6th title and 6th Finals MVP. The final chapter, legacy sealed, Jordan retired again after the 1998 season. He finished with 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, and a perfect finals record. He was never pushed to a Game 7. He left the game on top. Breaking down his greatness, Jordan's career had 3 phases. His early years of unmatched athleticism, his first three-peat as a polished superstar, his second three-peat as a wise and clutch veteran. Each phase alone would be Hall of Fame worthy. Comparing to other legends, people compare him to Wilt, Kareem, and LeBron. Wilt had the stats. Kareem had the longevity. LeBron has versatility. But Jordan had the perfect mix of skill, leadership, scoring, defense, and winning. He never lost when it mattered most. Final thoughts. Michael Jordan didn't just play the game, he changed it. 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, no Game 7s. He wasn't just great, he was the greatest. If you liked the video, hit like, subscribe, and let us know who's your GOAT.